That's what I used to do. It builds the self-esteem.
Let's see.
It builds the self-esteem.
What about this? She has a husband too. So then she won't go for your kids.
You want me to hit that guy up for you?
No.
Wait, like older
I'm
women?
okay.
She also has wisdom.
What do you do?
That's a good little technique. Hey, you want me to hit that guy up for you? Basically, it's some guy that she would not find attractive, and it does a couple things at the same time. On one level, it shows I'm not that invested. I'm willing to walk away. I'm not going to be needy or pushy. And on another level, it's kind of a tease, like implying, well, you know, that guy seems like a better match for you. This guy who's not the best by society's standards, that's probably what you would normally hook up with, right? And it's not saying that outright, but it's kind of implying it, and it's not clear whether you're joking or you're being serious, and that's what makes it flirtatious. That's what makes it fun. So that's a very easy technique that you can use in your interactions.
What do I do?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
In life, what do you do?
College.
Other than, like...
Here you can see that my eye contact is pretty strong. There's a lot of intensity. I'm getting her to react to me, and I'm also being challenging. I'm not judging her, but I'm saying, so what do you do? And she's like, no, what do you do? And I'm not saying it in a way where I'm saying I actively disapprove of her or that I think she's beneath me, but it's more like, what do you got? What do you got? It's a playful challenge, and that's something that's very attractive to women. Basically saying that, yeah, you're cute, but you haven't won me over, so let's see what you got. What do you do? That energy is very attractive. It's basically coming from the frame of the buyer, not the seller. The salesman, he wants any client. Anyone he sees, he's like, take my product. Please take my product. I need to get my product. I don't care who you are. Just take my product. The buyer, however, goes to the store and let's say they're looking at a TV. They're thinking, well, this TV looks interesting, but like, I want to know the specifications. I want to know the price. I want to know if it's better than this other model, right? They're coming from a frame of abundance and they're the decider. And that is the frame that you want to have with women, where you're deciding if you actually like her. You're not the desperate salesman who wants anything he can get. You're the buyer who's looking for the best option. It's much more attractive to her because on the one hand, it means you're not desperate, you have a lot of options. And on the other hand, it means you genuinely like her. You're choosing her from a number of options, and that's more romantic from a woman's perspective rather than, well, he couldn't really get girls and he saw me. I was the best he could do, so he settled for me. It's much less attractive. And the best way to come from the buyer's frame is to actually have a lot of options, actually approach a lot of women, meet a lot of girls, get a lot of dates. The more you do that, the more you put yourself out there, the more you will naturally fall into that frame.
College to be?
No idea.
You have a major?
I'm kind of psychology.
Yes.
Okay, I have a degree in psychology.
I'm a child of divorce.
Fun fact.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What do you want to be with? Therapist, psychiatrist?
Kind of.
Kind
I'm
of.
not sure though, because now I'm kind of.
Have a fun conversation.
Like,
Are they
I just don't want to do something else. Are they from here?
You don't love psychology?
This was a great camera angle because here you can see that even though I'm not saying anything, I'm still communicating a lot of emotion with my facial expressions. I'm doing a lot with my face that is getting her to feel different things. And that's very powerful and very important to be aware of. Like the look in my eyes, the way that I'm either smiling or going, Like little things like that can have a very big impact, and they just make you more dynamic and more interesting and more charismatic than what a lot of guys do is have a very flat face. Very unengaged, very boring to watch, to look at. And so just being more expressive can make a huge difference in your interactions with women.
Or just like more like live your life.
Did you get into it because you had your own psychological issues you wanted to work out?
So originally I came out here for work.
Well, sure. Yeah, I guess.
That's honest.
Yeah.
Now that I'm feeling more in the zone, I'm coming up with more interesting and clever things to say, and that's because when you're feeling tight, when you're uncomfortable, it's like you've got the brakes on a car and your mind cannot think creatively. You just can't make connections. But as you get looser, as you get more in the zone, your creativity is able to start opening up, and that's when you think of things that are witty, clever, and interesting. It's not some script or some line that you memorized. It's just being in a state of mind where you're not being overly judgmental of yourself and you're not overly filtering yourself.
And the company itself.
I don't know. Something a little more fun.
You want to have more fun
They started kind of using me a lot.
than psychology.
Well, it was like they were trying to get free.
Being a therapist is a little stressful.
And like crazy patients. Kind of.
But that's why it's fun, though.
I used to bartend.
Crazy.
Yeah, because you never know what you're going to deal with. You never know what's going to happen. You might get stalked, right? By your
Yeah,
patient.
exactly. Or like murdered.
Isn't that fun?
That's really fun. That's
Just
what I
attempted
look
murder,
forward
usually.
to. What?
Not that many therapists get murdered successfully.
Yeah. But there's
Only
all
one in
movies
3.
about it and like TV shows about it.
Well, because it's a compelling narrative.
What's your Instagram?
Okay. So what got you into that, though? What are you going to do instead, then? Professional paintball player?
Yeah, that could be cool.
Put the stickers on apples in the grocery store?
I could do that. Yeah.
Twitch streamer? You've never heard of that?
Yeah.
You know that platform where it's people playing video games and they stream themselves?
The video game thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking huge.
That's not my thing.
As a girl, you got a big advantage.
This type of event.
I tried. I just wore a wig and I got some, like, you know.
Fake tits.
I
Yeah.
actually just got back.
The fake tits.
I got them removed, but yeah. Some people prefer the look at Instagram.
Yeah, true.
Seems like
And we ended up like not even doing that. Now
seems
we're
like they prefer the fake. And it's like,
drinking.
look, if you actually were with someone with fake tits,
I've had like
you would see that they're not better. You've been with people with fake tits, so you know.
No, yeah, for sure.
All right, what are your bad
Yeah.
decisions?
How long are you guys in Vegas?
What are your bad decisions?
At this point, the attraction's there, there's good chemistry, we're having good banter, and so I want to make sure that I move into finding out her logistics, seeing what her situation is, to find out if I can make something happen with her right then and there, where we go on a date, or if I should see her again like the next day or a couple days from now. So I need to find out, is she only in Vegas for the night? Is she there for a few days? You do want to make sure you get the logical side of things handled, not at the beginning, because if you do it right away, it's kind of like, well, I have no reason to want to give you this information. Why am I telling you when I'm free, when there's no emotional connection? But now that we've established that we have chemistry, I want to make sure that I turn this interaction into something tangible.
I'm here for a week. She lives here, so.
For a week.
Wait, what?
Okay. It's long enough to have fun, but not long enough to like start to hate each other.
Whenever we hang out,
That's kind of ideal, right?
Exactly. Short and sweet.
Yeah, short but intense romance.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. What's your name?
She seemed genuinely enthusiastic about the idea of having a short but intense romance, so that's a very good sign that she's not only attracted, but she's open to the idea of something happening between us.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. What's your name? I like it.
What's your name?
Avery. Avery. Why do you like Avery so much?
I don't know. You don't hear a lot of guys have the name Avery.
Especially not white guys.
Especially not. I don't think I've ever met a guy.
It's either a name of a handsome black man or like a very basic white girl, no offense.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, okay.
Is that how you spell it?
Yeah.
Oh.
What the heck? No one ever spells right now.
Well, I'm a writer, so I should be able to.
On the surface, this interaction looks pretty ideal. My friend is getting along with his girl, I'm getting along with my girl, so this is a good opportunity for us to be going for the pull, to like invite them to play Cards Against Humanity with us or something along those lines. The problem is, my wingman, he was in a relationship while we were filming this, so I know that he's not going to be able to bring his girl home, and that means I have to get my girl's number because we can't stay forever. So I make sure to be proactive about it, get her number so that I can see her again later, because I know that he's going to leave the girl he's talking to at some point, and if I go for the number last minute in a reactive kind of way, it's not ideal, it's not as likely to lead to a date later. So I'm getting her number now to avoid that situation.
I write about psychology.
Wow.
It's fun. It's under-
Cali.
I've heard of it. What are you guys up to later?
We're getting food and going home.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
If you want to, do you guys know Super Lounge?
No.
It's, you know, like adjacent to it. So me and my friends we always go to the bar. We'll like smoke hookah, we'll grab a couple of drinks. We bring in like a big, we're about to like really high quality guys. If you guys want to come and hang out with us, I might be down with it. I can let you know when we're doing it. We weren't planning on doing it this week, but if we do, I can let you know if you want to.
I will text you.
If you want to. Yeah.
Okay, see you.
At the end of the interaction, the mic cuts out, but the only part that you missed was we basically say goodbye, that it was nice meeting each other, and that we should hang out again soon. Now, if it wasn't for the fact that Charisma King was in a relationship, then we probably would have taken these girls to get a drink or to get some food, do something like that, and then we would have invited them back to our place to play Cards Against Humanity or something along those lines. But with that said, I hope you learned a lot from this infield video. It was a great example of a choppy interaction that really wasn't great at first. It was one of my more awkward interactions that I filmed, but I don't give up too easily. I stick with it, and over time, because I have an understanding of certain principles about how to let loose, how to get into a better state over time, by the end of the interaction, I'm a lot more charismatic, I'm a lot more smooth, there's a lot more sexual polarity, and it ends up being a solid number. So the main things I want you to take away from this are, one, that sometimes awkward is good enough. Even if you're not good looking, even if you have whatever disadvantage, if you approach enough women, some of them are just going to like you because you remind them of their ex, they're in a certain mood, they just broke up with someone, or you just happen to be their type. That is going to happen, and it's going to happen quite often. And secondly, it's perfectly natural to have awkward interactions. Everyone does. No one is perfect. Even the pickup coaches that show you their highlight reels, they have whiffs. They have times where they shoot and it's an air ball. That is something that happens to everyone, so don't expect to be perfect. Game isn't something where all the variables are under your control. There is luck involved. Some girls are just not available, and it doesn't matter what you do. Some girls are just not going to click with your personality type. It's completely inevitable, but it's okay because there's going to be other girls that even if you approach them awkwardly and you make a lot of mistakes, they'll still like you as long as you don't give up too easily and reject yourself. If you found this clip useful, I have a much longer interaction that's very similar on my course God Mode. It's an approach where, just like this one, it starts out pretty awkward. It's not great. The girl's actually a fitness model. She's very hot. But at the beginning, I'm kind of choppy, but I stick with it. I don't give up. And then over time, you see the process unfold of how I get myself more into the zone. And by the end, I'm pretty charismatic, and the girls react very well to me, and we're able to bring them home.
I signed up real quick. I'm like, oh, I could be a black Mormon? Yeah.
Is your
Rare.
family or
Bring on those 7 wives.
is it
Give
just
me all the wives.
7 is a good start. My brother, when he did acid, he just stripped naked, started running through the neighborhood, and then he dove into a random pool, and then he tried to steal someone's car and drive away. He's just sitting in the car like, apparently he did, yeah. You couldn't tell! Racism!
That's her fetish. She
Do you think every black man looks the
Think
same?
about doing it with the
Oh,
entire
no.
convincing is
That's what's going on there?
Here, I got you.
They're not that
Go for
big,
it.
it's okay.
Go for it.
Okay,
That's some bullshit.
Hit him.
That's some bullshit. You are.
Shall we go smoke?
Yeah.
Stash of weed? 10 minutes away?
Definitely.
This way?
Yeah.
Instead of standing here like 8 hours? Let's go.
Yeah, I'm done.
And some Cards Against Humanity.
Yes.
So if you want to check that out, make sure to click the link below to learn more about my course God Mode. But with that said, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell button, and leave a comment letting me know what you thought and what kind of infield videos you want to see in the future. Do you want to see me do very direct approaches where I'm like making my intentions extremely clear and just going right for the pull within 5 minutes? Or do you want to see more indirect, kind of suave approaches where it's under the radar, like mystery method? And if I like your idea, I'll go out, film it, and make another video just like this one.